Fuck yeah, how we all going? Saturday night! We're pumped, man? Really? Oh, fuck. We do a bit better than that. We pumped, man. It's Saturday night. Make some noise! Fuck yeah, now I'm pumped, man. I am. I'm not actually meant to be here. I'm not. I'm meant to be at work, man, but I'm sick. Yeah, man, I don't know about you guys, but with my job, you can't just call up and say that you're sick. You got to go get a sick note, like, to prove that you're sick. And I can't go to the doctors and pretend to be sick, man. I mean, look at me, I'm healthy as fuck. So what I've started doing, right, I've been saying that I've got emotional problems. Yeah, which is so easy, man. Especially when you've got so many emotional problems. But my doctor, she looked at me and she was just like, Sean, have you ever had any suicidal thoughts? But she said this in a way like I should consider it. And fuck, maybe I should. Maybe I should, man. I've had a bunch of my gigs cancelled because of COVID. Like, I'm meant to be up in Darwin at the moment, man, which sucks, because like, the booker up there, she's like an absolute lunatic, man. I've never met her before, and she was like, yeah, you can come stay with me for free. We'll give you this amount of money, and you can do all the drugs that you want, and I've got everything. I've got coke, I've got heroin, I've got molly, I've got weed, and I heard that, man, and for the first time, that was the closest it ever felt for me being, like, drafted by the West Coast Eagles. But, like, that does sound cool, you know, like when you're in your 20s, you know, going to a stranger's house, doing drugs all day and comedy all night. That sounds good when you're in your 20s. But when you're in your 30s, it's even better because I've got no contacts, man. All my drug dealers are either got families or in prison or both. And, like, the only people selling drugs now are kids, and I don't want to buy drugs off kids because they're all fucked up activists now. Have you noticed this? They're all activists, man, with all agendas. Like, I tried buying weed recently from a vegan activist, which they are the fucking worst, man. It is, because they're all liars. You know, they go to a farm, they steal a lamb, and they come on the news, oh, we liberated this lamb, we're the voice of the voiceless, we speak for those who can't speak for themselves. And I'm there just admit that it's fun nicking shit. It is, man, like, who used to nick shit? Very quiet all of a sudden. At least you're not snitches, I appreciate that, man. Nah, I used to steal everything growing up, man. Like, you guys remember Action Supermarket? Yeah, I robbed that place into oblivion, man. Like, I stole shit that I didn't even need. Like, I've still got, like, tampons from 20 years ago in my house. But it is, man, vegan activists are weird, man. Like, trying to make me feel guilty about shit that I just can't feel guilty about. Like, I was watching a video about a whale that died because it had too much rubbish in its body, and the person talking was like, oh, how sad. How sad that this whale washed up and died on our shores because of too much rubbish. Is it? Is it sad? Like, how do we know it wasn't just one dumb fat whale? You know, how do we know that other whales were like, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't eat all that shit? Applause break for dead whales. This is the sort of audience that I like. Hey, he's just eating that shit. Oh, I know I'm terrible. But kids, man, kids are crazy, man. Like these woke kids, these activist kids, man, they'll argue about anything at the drop of a hat. Like, I worked with this kid and he wanted to get into an argument with me about porn. Yeah, which I'm not like the argumentative type, man, but I felt like this topic was in my wheelhouse. And he came at me, man. He was very aggressive. He was like, oh, women in porn are just being exploited for their bodies. Women in porn are just being exploited for their bodies. And I'm sitting there like, no shit, idiot. Like, who the fuck here isn't being exploited for their bodies? Like, no one's looking at me and thinking, oh, that guy. That guy must be a secretary. No, most of you look at me and think I lift heavy shit for a living, right? You want to know why? Because I lift heavy shit for a fucking living, man. Which is bullshit. Like, why can't I be a secretary? You know? Like, I can giggle like a schoolgirl and pick up pencils all provocatively and shit. I don't know what a secretary does, man. But that's what they all do in the movies that I watch, man. And then the boss comes in and drops a huge load in her mouth. Which isn't something I'd usually be into, man, but you know, I've been working in the sun for 10 years, man. Like, fuck, I'd take a shot in the mouth for some air conditioning, man. Fuck, I'd take a shot in the mouth just so I don't have to sit on a milk crate at Smoko. Got sat on a milk crate for half an hour, played noughts and crosses with the arsehole, man. It's horrible. It's horrible, man. Ah, no, man. I do like porn. I do like it. I like porn because I'm more of a lover than a fighter, man. I am. I'm not much of a fighter, and I found out that I'm not much of a fighter in my first MMA fight. Yeah, literally the worst place on earth to find out that you don't have the killer instinct. And it was like my first professional fight, which I didn't realise until like the dude from Weight Watchers was like, hey, we're going to weigh the 2 first professional fights. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. So I stood on the scale and I weighed in at 110 kilos of beers and hamburgers. And then my opponent, he stepped on the scale. He weighed in at 110 kilos of muscle and the spirit of his victims. And it's crazy, man, because like with fighting, they always say there's no such thing as pretend fighting, man, and I'm all about the pretend fighting. Like my favourite part was like picking my intro song. Yeah, picking the colour of my shorts. Giving myself a fight nickname. Yeah, Mr. Warm Milk, because I put suckers to sleep, you dig? For real, man, like my favourite part was walking to the cage waving at everyone like I'm Jackie Onassis. The worst part was actually getting in the cage and taking headshots like I'm JFK in Texas. Too soon, he's been dead for 60 years, fuck off. The crazy thing was I still thought I was a chance of winning. It was, because I knew I had something that dude didn't have. Which was an extensive knowledge of 1980s and 1990s action movies. Yeah, you know when the hero gets punched in the face and his lips start bleeding and he touches his mouth, looks at the blood and does that scream that starts low and ends high that lets everyone know that he's fucking crazy? You know, the one that... Oh, ah! But this dude punched me in the face and guess what he did? He continued to punch me in the face. And the only thing I remember is my corner screaming, stop touching your lip! Stop touching your lip! And this guy's popped me in the face about 20 times, man, and I'm like, fuck, I've got to do something, otherwise I'm going to lose this. So I loaded up the biggest right hand of my life, man. I threw it from back here, and I threw it, and I landed right on his chin, man. And I knew I was in trouble because it hurt my finger. And I audibly said, ow. Yeah, so my first professional fight lasted a whole 45 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. It was... but I am, man, I'm more of a lover, man. I am more of a lover than a fighter. Which sucks, because, like, I'm finally back on the dating market after 6 years, man. After 6 years, I'm back on the dating market, man. I wasn't in a relationship. I just took myself off the market hoping that shit would blow up like Bitcoin. And it did not. That shit crashed worse than Paul Walker, man. That was... All right, that one was a bit too soon. Fucking relax. Just wait till I do my Shane Warne jokes. You guys gonna really... I'm kidding! He's a national treasure. I fucking built my whole body around him. It's No, but I'm back on the dating market, man. I'm on Tinder, and I actually matched with this chick in a place called Tammin, which, if you don't know, is one of those side of the road towns on your way to a less shitty town. And this chick, man, she was 45 minutes late to the date. 45 minutes late. And I'm standing there at the bar like, she better get here in the next 60 to 90 minutes. Otherwise, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I got a little thing called dignity, you know what I'm saying? And she rocked up, man, 45 minutes late, up to the gills on meth. She's absolutely cooked, man. Like, you know when people are that cooked, they start getting that nang-nang face? Like that nang-nang-nang-nang-nang. This chick was cooked, man. Like, her first question to me was, have you ever had to put an axe through a dying cow's head? Yeah. And I'm thinking the same thing you were thinking. I don't know what the fuck that means, but that sounds sexy as hell. But anyway, man, we ordered lunch there. You know, I ordered spaghetti bolognese. They gave me meat goreng with beef jerky. It was a rough fucking place, man. And, you know, we're flirting, you know, and I can tell she's keen on me, man, because she's flirting, she's, like, dropping subtle hints. And, like, she gives me, like, the sexy eye. Because the other eye's still going, no, like, she's fucking cooked, man. She was cooked, man. I'm not talking that nice, clean city method like Ben Cousins used to do. I'm talking that filthy, disgusting country method like Ben Cousins does now. And yeah, man, and finally she just came out and said, it was like, hey, man, do you want to come back to my place and hook up? And I'm like, oh, no. And I didn't want to break her heart, man, so I just thought of the first thing I could think of, and I was like, oh, nah, man, I got to go home and put an axe through a dying cow's head. Oh, man. That's a sad story. It's sad because we've been going steady for about 6 months. You got to take what you can get, man. You got, you know, no judgment here. I don't care. Fuck. Fucking probably emergency or some shit. It's all right, man. No, it's not. I'm cool, man. I'm just trying to figure. I'll just come out and say, right, I've got a broken dick. See, there's no easy way to. Hey, I'll get to it. Don't fucking worry. That's not my big closer. It's no. Actually, I got a broken dick. It's I suffer from a thing called phimosis, which is when the foreskin's that tight that it doesn't go over the head of the... It's kind of like if I try putting on a baby sweater. You know, I can keep trying and all that's going to happen is that it stings heaps and it looks kind of funny. So yeah, I got diagnosed as having that, man. Well, I say diagnosed, I was just watching an episode of Embarrassing Bodies. I was like, holy shit, I fucking got that, man. And it really explained a lot, like why none of my relationships weren't working out. Because I was hooking up with this chick and she was on top and she zigged when she should have zagged and she pushed the foreskin all the way back and it got stuck. Like, the foreskin was like choking the head. It looked like my dick was doing like a Michael Hutchins impression. Oh, too soon, motherfucker. All right. It looked like my dick was doing a Robin Williams impression. Fuck off. No one in here knew any of them. Fuck off, man. But then, being the DIY guy that I am, I thought, you know, I can fix this. You know, a bit of cold water, a bit of lotion, and after about 3 or 4 days, that shit went black and purple and swollen. It looked like the Fremantle Dockers logo down there. It was brutal, man. I went to my GP and he was like, you got to get to the emergency room right now. And I got there and the emergency room is chock-a-block, man, like wall-to-wall of people. And I got to cut to the front because apparently when your dick's about to fall off, you cut straight to the front. And at this point, man, everything is just so swollen. I can't even walk, man, and I'm walking like I'm a 100-year-old man. And you can just sense the vibe of the room was I stuck something up my ass. Like, you can just sense it. That's actually my favourite joke, man. Oh, actually, some people have asked me, like, how I fixed, like, it's fixed now. And, like, people are like, how did you fix it? And, like, I don't know how to describe it, but just imagine, like, Hulk Hogan taking off his T-shirt. Yeah, all right, that bit needed a bit of work. I thought you guys were on my side. I thought I'd throw it out there. Go fuck yourselves. Thought you were with me, motherfuckers. No, that is my favourite story, man, because it is true. And I got to tell that at a theatre of like 1,000 people when I was the opening act for my childhood hero, Steve-O from Jackass. Yeah, and I'm telling that story, and some dude down the back screamed out, "Show us!" I thought that was pretty funny, and in my quick wit, I was like, I'll tell you what, man, if you were a woman, I'd be flopping it out right now for you. Huge fucking mistake. Because 500 women just started screaming, "Show us! Show us your crazy looking penis, man!" And when 500 women scream out, "Show me your penis," it's humbling. And I won't lie, a little bit tempting. So, if you guys want to see it, my OnlyFans is Sean Conway. No, you guys are absolutely fantastic. I'm Sean Conway. Enjoy the rest of your night.